What's up, you guys? Welcome back to our channel, and welcome to our channel if you have not been here before. So today's video, we're gonna be making some very interesting binge-worthy, yeah, Netflix recommendations. Now that we have time to, relax, calm down, and actually watch hella television, we want to give you guys some recommendations as to what things we have watched and what things we are currently watching. Leave comments below for any of the shows that you do like or don't like. Let's have a discussion.
Let's see what's going on.
Let's see what's going on in your heads. Let's get into the video. So number one, it took us a minute to figure out which one we wanted to start with. We decided to start with Sherlock. I've always been into I don't want to say mystery, but solving cases
and drama.
Mystery and drama and criminal justice.
Scooby-Doo,
I don't know. The plot of the story behind Sherlock, it's a pretty well-known story. It's the one that's created by it's Holmes and Dr. Watson by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Yeah. So it's old British, whatever.
Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes. The main thing is they're showing that this man who's a little bit quirky, a little interesting, a little eccentric. He is looking for a roommate, but the way they started out is they go from the perspective of Watson. He just fortuitously becomes gets put together with this guy named Holmes, and he doesn't know anything about him. Finds out that he's this crime solver, he's this detective, but not really officially one. When Watson becomes his roommate, just a whole lot of weird stuff starts happening. People filter in, they're throwing in cases to them. They choose which ones they want to actually try and solve. And it starts out with this really interesting case about this girl with this woman in pink, lady in pink, woman in pink. Just seeing how they deducted everything, I was just like, okay, I'm in this show. I'm gonna watch this. When we first watched it, we didn't realize how dark it was gonna be.
Right.
But then it was just the way that Sherlock talked with Watson, the way that the characters interact, and kind of just the way that they developed the case, that I was like, oh, right. Honestly, the cast is one of the biggest reasons why we recommend it. I think Benedict did a great job.
Great job.
Absolute fantastic job portraying Sherlock. And then the guy who plays Moriarty, Andrew Scott, he will be one of my favorite villains forever. Some of the stuff he would do, you're sitting there oh my god,
why would he do this?
Number two is Money Heist.
Money Heist.
La Casa de Papel. This one pops up on a lot of people's lists, so it's nothing new probably for you guys, but I just want to further drive the point. With Money Heist, we actually started watching it maybe a year and a half ago or something, or 2 years ago. We took a hiatus for a bit because of just school, and it takes a lot of brain power when you're watching it. It's so intense. I love it. But honestly, it's just the plot, it was so different. The premise of the show is that there are these group of criminals. I don't even know I did this because they are criminals. But you side with them, so you're just they're cool people, they're great, they're awesome. But they're trying to rob a bank, but it's a specific bank. It's one of the largest ones. The Mint, Spain. It's the Mint. It's where they actually make the money. They reveal the process behind how they prepared for it, what they're gonna try and do. And I think it's really cool because I can't remember what I was doing at the time, but I remember scrolling on the show and then seeing a trailer for it, and I was like, that's kind of interesting. And then, the way the show first starts, I didn't expect it to be the way it is now.
Yeah.
And we've only watched the first season all the way through, and we're partially through the second season. And I know that there are currently 4 seasons out, so we have a lot to catch up on. We literally haven't watched it in a while. But even then, it still left such a great impact on us, and that's why we're putting it in the list. The other thing we want to mention about it is that why we're also so excited that everyone's talking about it is because it really seems that in the past few years, people have been opening up to different genres, to different languages. Obviously, Korean dramas, they've been popping out for a while, which I'm happy about. There's Spanish, there's French. We just saw an Italian show that we want to check out. There's just all these different languages, all these different types of content, and I'm here for it, really. Number 3, Brenda actually hasn't watched too much of it.
Yeah,
She's only seen things through me.
I'm gonna have to bow out on this conversation, this part of it, because I've only seen a couple episodes through her, but I can tell it's fantastic.
It is one of my top shows. It is called Peaky Blinders. Peaky Blinders. Okay, so this is a British TV show. Brenda and I have realized over the past couple years that we like watching kind of those old-timey shows.
Right.
I mean, we like everything, but seeing old-time things and how they had their styles, their fashion, the way that they shot guns, and stuff like that, the way they carried themselves.
Yeah.
Love that stuff. So Peaky Blinders is about basically this crime family, and it focuses on all the family members, but especially on the main guy named Tommy. Thomas Shelby. He, I think, came back from a war to come back to the family and kind of like lead the family. And it just shows you what happens and like all the adventures they go through, all the things that happen in their family. And the reason I like this show so much is that the characters are so fully developed. You see a lot of growth happening with them, or in some people's case, lack of growth. And cinematographically, this show is so nice to look at. Like, I don't know what filters they're using or whatever it is, what screen, what cameras, but they make it look so crisp on TV. It's some of the cleanest you'll see costume-wise.
It honestly looks like a movie.
It looks like a movie every episode. And it's just, there's so many twists and turns in it. I don't typically watch shows that focus on villains, but like Peaky Blinders is it for me. So for some people it might be a little bit difficult to get into. I feel like you kind of have to be into that kind of stuff to watch the show. But if you love that kind of genre, if you like that, like, I don't know, intense, dramatic, and villain, like mob boss kind of thing, then you'll love this show. So the next one is Because This Is My First Life. This is a Korean drama. It's a good drama, y'all. So this show is about this girl who works as like a struggling drama writer, like screenplay writer, a screenwriter. And she's 30 years old. She and her friends, like, they're all in the 30-year-old range. They're kind of at that point in their life where they want to get settled. They want to have like kids maybe, or be married maybe.
Have a good job,
have a stable job. And they're not quite where they want to be, except for one of the girls. She's good at her job. She's not so good at her love life. And the main character has some trouble at work, and she ends up not being able to stay at home because of some situation. And she's trying to find a place to live, and she ends up living with this guy to be his tenant. You just kind of see the budding relationship that like takes its time to develop, and yeah, there's just all these little twists and turns, and it's very interesting to see. It's really refreshing to see female characters, like female lead characters, who are actually strong.
Yes.
Like, they're not, especially with the friend Woo-Suji. Woo-Suji, because she doesn't play into the stereotypical like soft girl, feminine, Korean, I have no control type of thing. Like, she knows what she wants, and she knows that she does have some flaws in her character. And she has emotional intelligence when you think about it too. Like, you can tell that she cares about her friends. She may not care about these boys, because these boys are always playing, but I like that they really show that she has different dimensions. Same with the main character. She does do some things that are a little weak. You're sitting there like, what? I will say that her one friend who just wants to get married, like, her whole goal was just to get married in life, and I understand, which is fine, but like, they show nothing else about her. And her communication with her boyfriend is ass. It is ass. You can't expect him to read your mind, honey. It doesn't work like that. It never works like that. So, with the exception of her, the other two, they're a little bit, you know, they're there. Next up is Person of Interest. This is another one of our criminal justice, crime, fighting, all that kind of show. It's a bit of an oldie but a goodie. Yeah, oldie but a goodie. It's from 2011. The plot behind the show is that there's this guy who's like an ex-CIA or FBI, or some sort of secret agent, and he gets out of the service and tries to like just live not even a normal life. I don't know if he's a normal life. He gets somehow kicked out of the service. I don't know what happens. He's just in New York, okay? And he gets recruited out of nowhere by this mysterious, quirky dude. They start up this like beautiful little partnership. The basis of this relationship is that they're trying to save people in New York. So the quirky glasses dude, he made a machine. It spits out some numbers, and whoever's related to that number, that person's either going to get killed or they're going to kill somebody. Quirky dude and our ex-operative, they both team together to save whoever is involved. So they're gonna try and save the person who's gonna get killed, or they're going to stop the person who's going to do the killing. And we like this show because, like we've said, we like, I guess, crime shows. That was called crime cases, where you have to figure out the mystery, figure out who did what. And it's just cool to kind of put yourself like on their side and figure out what's going on. But I do want to say, there are some bads that I want to point out, and I feel like some other people will know as well if they've watched it. I cannot figure out for the life of me why they just let this guy touch everything. His fingerprints would literally be on everything in New York. He never has gloves, never opens the door with gloves, he touches the murder weapon. He lets his face be shown to everyone. Like, I feel like at this point, everyone in New York should know who he is. They know him by first name because he says his name. Like, I don't get it. And it's funny because in the other crime shows, you'll see people being very careful, meticulous, and then you'll still get a cop who sees one strand of hair and says, like, pick it up. I got it. But otherwise, I love this show. I like watching this show.
The relationships in there are also really cool. I like the other like police officers that they like interact with, and just everybody.
So highly recommend. So next up is the 100. Okay, so right now, as it is a little bit of a love-hate relationship for Brenda and I with this show. There are 6 seasons right now. Brenda and I watched the first season, I think maybe like 2-3 years ago.
Probably.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Loved it. Like, the first 2 seasons are phenomenal, honestly. The reason why I say love-hate is because the last season, season 5 and kind of 4, kind of just pissed me off because of the direction they took it. Because I was just like, okay, y'all went real far. Y'all reaching.
There's a certain twist or turn that they took the season or took the show, and it's not something I really was expecting. I mean, of course, I don't want to be expecting everything, but like, it was so out of right, left, up, down field that I was just like, what? Like,
what happens is, it's kind of like is it called dystopian? Dystopian world, end of the world, post-apocalyptic. So the world kind of goes to shit. Something that we humans did, there's like a nuclear war or something, I don't remember what it was, but something sets off and the world gets destroyed, basically.
Essentially,
making it inhabitable for people, and some of the last people that were there before the nuclear reaction or whatever happened, they sent the rest of humanity up into space.
Where we come into the show, or where everyone comes into the show, in season 1, is they're up in space, it's been like 100 years or whatever, and like civilization has changed.
They've been wanting to go back to the Earth, like but they're waiting for it to become inhabitable again. So at some point, 100 people get sent from the ship down to Earth to see what is left. So many twists, so many turns. Great characters, but probably one of the most interesting shows I've seen in a while.
And finally, the last one, it is Terrace House.
Yeah.
So this is a Japanese show. This is a show that I've been watching, like I've been binging for the last few months now.
Yeah, she's really been watching it. Even during finals, she was watching it.
Exposed me. But I'm very much interested in it. I love romance. Barbara and I were huge fans of romance. We're fans of reality shows. And when I say reality, I mean specifically like the ones where you can analyze how people are interacting with each other.
So not like Kim Kardashian,
like
you know, the Kardashians or whatever, but like Love Island.
Love Island.
Okay, so I actually started watching this show. It's a Japanese TV show, as we said, with a bunch of my friends back when I was in my undergrad. Brenda had watched some of the episodes as well.
Like off and on,
she didn't really get into it, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then in the midst of, you know, the quarantine situation, for some reason just like full speed into it.
See, I was on Netflix. They recommended something to me. They showed Terrace House like 5 million times. I was like, you know what? I know this one. Let me just try it. So I started out by watching the most recent one. It's 2019. It's not finished because of obviously what's been going on right now. And so then I just started like, let's just go back. So right now I'm on Aloha State.
And that's the one I watched as well.
Yeah, part of it. They started out with a handful of people, 3 guys and 3 girls. And they just put them into this nice, big-ass, fancy house and just watch how they interact. There's no script. They don't, like, force them to do certain things. The ideal is, you know, at least 1 or 2 people can at least fall in love, hopefully. But they all have different reasons for going on, like whether they want to be an actor, a mangaka, whatever.
And a big part of the show are the commentators.
Yeah.
So we see what's happening in the house, but then we also have off screen this like team of, I don't know, like 5-6 people. They sometimes have new people come in, new people go out, whatever. But they are so funny. And I wasn't expecting them to be as funny as they are.
I did not expect it at all.
It's like, and it's hilarious to see their commentary about what's going on in the house, how like society, especially in Japanese society, how they interact with each other. So you're watching both the commentators and you're also watching the people in the house.
I recommend this show 100%. I think it's really good for just like passing the time, like not in a bad sense, but it's just, you gotta watch it, y'all.
Yeah.
You have to. So yeah, that's all the recommendations that we have for Netflix.
All the shows are from a variety of countries, locations, genres, whatever. So let us know in the comments down below what you guys are watching and maybe we'll check it out as well.
All right. Thanks for watching.